Hey guys, how's it going? I like to mow here, and today we are going to be doing an unboxing of this Predator engine I just bought. So basically my plan for this engine is this is going to be a pressure washer for me. Obviously the engine itself is not the pressure washer, but I'm going to be buying a pump for it. It's going to be a 4,000 psi 4 gallon per minute pump, and we're going to basically just mount that on this motor, and then I'm going to mount the motor and pump to a skid that I'm going to build. I'll be doing this all in another video, but basically my plan is I'm going to mount this to a skid, and then I'm going to have a pressure washer, because I can't keep renting a machine from a rental place. It costs too much. I mean, it doesn't cost a lot, but it costs enough to where I can't really justify doing that, and I need to be able to do jobs as I get them rather than piling up like 3 or 4 jobs just to justify renting it. But with this, I'll be able to just do a job whenever I do a pressure washing job, whenever I get someone to hire me, and then I just go over there, do it, and then I don't have to rent it, and I'm not limited to how much time I can have it for, because I usually rent it on weekends, and sometimes that doesn't always work out. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing here of this pressure washer or engine. It's advertised as a 13 horsepower engine. Basically this is a Honda GX 390 clone, just this one is slightly larger in cc's. This is 420 cc's. GX 390 Honda is about 389 cc's. And cc's is cubic centimeters, in case you aren't familiar with small engines. But we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing and see what all is in the box. Okay, so we got our unboxing knife here. If you watched any of my previous unboxings, and I don't do very many of them, you know I use this knife. And actually, funny story, I got this knife like when I was 10 or 11, and I got it bright green so I would find it if I ever lost it. So this box wasn't opened. I actually asked them because it was taped, so I was not really sure if it had been opened or not. Sorry about that, I was just moving my microphone so you could hear me. So, let's see, in our bag here we have a manual, which I'll definitely be reading through. And then if you can see right here, these are different jets for the carburetor, as well as a bowl gasket and a bowl nut gasket. These 2 jets here are for high altitude conditions. So if you're running this in higher altitudes, like let's say you're in Denver, Colorado, that's obviously a lot higher than higher up than where sea level is. So like Florida's only like 100 and some feet. I think it's like 100, 200 feet depending on where you are, but we don't need to use that since we aren't at a high altitude. But basically the high altitude means there's less oxygen. So you have to jet the carburetor differently so that the engine will run without having issues. So you have to jet it slightly differently to ensure that it's going to run properly with slightly less oxygen. Obviously there's not so much less oxygen that people can't live there, but the idea is that it's getting a different mixture than what it would be just regular settings. So there's the top of the engine, if you can see it here. This engine is also electric start, which I actually am considering hooking up because I'll probably end up hooking it up, honestly, just for ease of starting. These engines really don't have much starting issues anyways, but simpler starting with electric starting. So I'm going to go ahead and take the microphone off here and get the engine out. I'll just pause the camera, or pause the video real quick, and then pull the engine out here. Okay, so we got the engine out, and there's one other thing in the bottom of the box here. It's a bag with a spark plug wrench. Spark plug wrench and keys, because this is electric start, so there's no just typical on-off switch. So that's what they look like. Apologize if there's any wind noise. I don't have my windscreen on my microphone right now, unfortunately. But here's the keys. And it's just a basic spark plug wrench. So we'll put that up out of the way. And let's move this engine over here. It's a little bit awkward, so I'm going to pause the camera again. Alright, so here is the engine all taken apart. Or not taken apart, but taken out of the box. So yeah, this is pretty much a Honda engine, just Predator engine version. For the most part, it's the same as a Honda. And I'll try and at some point do a comparison video with the engine on my push blower, which is a Honda GX390, and this engine. And I can show you over here real quick. It looks the same, as you can see. Pretty much the same engine, just obviously different brand. This is the carbon box for the carb requirement. Like Honda's, this does have oil alert, so it does shut off if it gets too low. Obviously it doesn't come with oil in it. It's got a nice filter in there, that's nice. I'll leave that tag on there just so I don't start it without oil in it. Quick start. Curious to see what kind of oil it needs, because if it's 10W30 I don't have any. I'll have to look in the manual, I guess, but it is electric start, but you don't have to have electric start because it is obviously pull start also. But basically, I'll show you on this engine over here. So normally Hondas have the little on-off switch over there, and then you have the electric start kit if you opt for that. Sorry about the wind noise if there's any. But instead of the on-off switch, you have your on there and then electric start if you should choose so. Like I said earlier, I might hook up the electric starter, I'm not quite sure yet. But it's all there on the side, as you can see. Now I have to look in the manual and see how to hook it up, but it holds like 1.5 gallons of fuel or something crazy like that. Similar to the Hondas, they hold a lot of fuel also. So that's always nice, so you get an extended or longer run time. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do it tonight or not, but it needs to break in for half an hour. At least I think it's a half an hour, maybe it's an hour. But basically what you do is you just start it and let it run for half an hour or an hour, whatever it says, and let the oil circulate through. And the idea is that you're running it with no load and with not running at full throttle, just so you can seat the rings properly without putting too much of a load on it. Or in my case, no load. I'm going to run it without a pump on it. Obviously, I don't even have a pump for it yet. But that'll be a separate video. I'll show you which pump I'm getting and all that sort of stuff. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and be on the lookout for pressure washer build videos. I'm going to order the parts, or the pressure washer pump, tonight. and then hopefully get it sometime this week, and next weekend is probably when I'll build it, so I can have it for spring break, because we have one more week of school and then spring break. So that'll be nice. Hopefully I can get some pressure washing jobs. If I know I have one, possibly two, and then a couple more possibly, so I'll definitely take you on a tour for those, and I might even do my driveway with it once I get it built. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.